Well, no matter which exchange you're looking at, it's been a volatile week for Bitcoin as the CBOE prepares to unveil the first ever futures market for the cryptocurrency.
I think Bitcoin could help us pay for that item.
It's going to be a $1 trillion market, and it's at 250 billion, and it has to get to $1 trillion before people realize, you know what, I've made a huge amount of money, and bears make money, bulls make money, but hogs get slaughtered. This is it. I'm going over the top right here. I'm buying the market right here, right now, because I know more than anybody.
He was one of the first investors in Bitcoin and is the CEO of BitCoin.com. He's such a vocal advocate for cryptocurrencies, he's earned the nickname Bitcoin Jesus.
I say Jesus is the homie. We be kicking it all the time across it. He the homie. I say Jesus is the
He told me why digital currencies are, as he says, a powerful innovation.
There's no one single place that any government or corporation or anybody at all could go to shut these cryptocurrencies down or turn them off or block them or censor them. And so that's a really, really powerful innovation.
Bankers are losing sleep over Bitcoin. The cryptocurrency that's been on such a wild ride is finally coming to Wall Street. On Sunday, Bitcoin futures contracts will begin trading. Those are basically an investment vehicle that lets you bet on Bitcoin without actually buying the underlying asset itself. It's also a way for big institutions like pension funds to get in on the action. But some of the world's biggest banks are taking a wait-and-see approach. They say they fear they'll bear the brunt of the risk, like U.S. banking giant J.P. Morgan, the Royal Bank of Canada. Others, like Goldman Sachs, will only allow certain clients to trade Bitcoin futures. These middlemen also fear Bitcoin's volatility makes it hard to match buyers to sellers.
Bob, you got to make sense of all this for us.
I will. Courtney, it's a big, big moment. We've been waiting for this for many, many months. Let's just go through what goes on here. First, the CBOE is going to introduce 3 monthly contracts. It'll likely be January, February, and March. The initial price for January will probably be very close to the cash price right now. It'll be cash settled, and that is the most important aspect of this whole thing. You don't need to own Bitcoin to actually trade it. It's cash settled, and you can short it. And again, that's in dollars. How about some questions? Where is this all going? Here's what I'm hearing. How are the sellers going to be? We don't know, but it's likely going to be a bunch of Bitcoin miners and people who are hedging, people who are long Bitcoin but want to sell futures against that. Maybe some institutional traders. Again, it's easy because you just can trade it in cash. Who's the market makers? Well, we don't know. They don't typically announce that, but there are several big ones that will likely be participants. How many firms will participate? Again, it looks fairly limited. We've had some big firms like J.P. Morgan already announced they won't allow their clients to do it initially. Schwab and Ameritrade, they're taking a wait-and-see attitude, so we may have very limited trading. The big question will be on that liquidity. And now, here's the big issue. Will it reduce or increase volatility? And again, we don't know. Historically, when you bring in futures contracts into commodities, it tends to tampen down the volatility, but that may or may not happen right now, and that's one of the big questions we want to answer in the next few weeks. Long term, here's the questions. Exactly who is regulating Bitcoin? We all say, well, the CFTC is regulating the Bitcoin futures, what we're talking about now, but the rest of it, we don't know. Bitcoin Cash is completely unregulated, and that's why the SEC turned down Bitcoin ETFs this year, saying we don't know who's regulating this market. And it's not clear that just because we have futures that are regulated by the CFTC, that will be enough for the SEC. And then there's all those intermediaries, the people who own the wallets. That's also a gray area. This is going to have to be addressed. And remember, Mike, Bitcoin, by definition, by its nature, is unregulated itself. So it's a bit of a conundrum for moving forward on that. I want to hear on Monday. Here's what I want to know. I want to see what kind of liquidity you have. And, Mike, I want to see what the bid-ask spread is like. Is it crazy? It trades in $10 increments. I want to see how big the bid-ask and what the pricing moves on Monday is. That's all we want to see. And let's see what happens then. It'll be a big day.